Welcome back to Mastering Psychology, and today's subject is going to be weak-mindedness. It's very important that you remove weak-mindedness from your life. The reason is that there's so many things that are going to happen that are going to test you. Your foundation to battle all things in life is going to be you grounded in who you are. Now, to be able to do this, number one, you're going to have to be able to accept who you are. There are many people that have not accepted who they are. They're still trying to do this via being other people. They're not happy with themselves. It's okay to not be happy with yourself, but that not being happy should translate into you working to repair the parts that you are not happy. This creates what's called delusional people. They're unhappy about something. They believe that this is going to change without them doing anything, with them just saying, I want to change, or I want better. Delusion is believing that you're deserving or that you should get something that you're not in alignment with, or you don't deserve, or that you haven't worked for. So you cannot be upset for the results that you didn't get for the work that you didn't put in. So this is number one. You have to accept who you are. In order to accept who you are, you have to first know who you are. That is the tricky part. That is the difficult part. And only you will be able to do that by spending time alone. We explained this before. There's a certain level of strength that is required to go against the masses, to be yourself. And this is where most people fail, because most people crumble to their peers. To be able to go against the world, and the world being your circle, because there's our world and then there's the world, and we're all engulfed into our world. So most people don't care about what's going on in the world if things are not going well in their world. And for your world to be stable, you've got to know who you are. That is the fundamental principle in it, because there's going to come rocky times, and you're going to need to have stability in those rocky times. If you don't know who you are, and if you haven't accepted who you are going to go through a lot of mental strife and misery, and it can be avoided by understanding and accepting, this is who I am. I accept who I am. I accept that, hey, I'm not a person that parties a lot. I like to be amongst my family, my friends, we're talking this and that. I'm a person that doesn't drink. I'm a person that doesn't smoke. Now, it can be 1,000 people around me that they want to go do that, and I will not participate in that. And it doesn't matter how many names I get called. It doesn't matter, oh, you lame, you should be doing this. None of those things matter, because I know who I am. And when I get outside of my truth, not the truth, outside of my truth, meaning that outside of who I am at the core, this is when bad things happen. So when you get outside of yourself, this is when terrible things happen. You become unlucky, and you could have avoided it. So there's a certain amount of strength that you're going to need, because you cannot make it in this world as a weak-minded person. This world, the success, the triumphs, you're not going to get it. You can't win with thin skin. And so most of us we don't know ourselves, because our entire lives have been full of taking commands from the time you've been born until this point. When you came in, you were taking commands from your parents. From your parents, you went to school. You're taking commands. From there, you went to your job. Your parents told you what religion to be a part of. They told you what to do, go to school, get good grades. When you got into school, they told you what you would study. When you went to work, they told you what you were going to do. Not that work is bad, but I'm making a point that you are programmed to take commands. You're not programmed to free think. You're not programmed to truly understand who you are. And so, as they say, many things can go wrong because of fronting. When you're trying to be something that you're not, things are going to go wrong. But to be strong, you've got to know who you are as a person, because you will be challenged. And here's the thing. You have to stand for something in this lifetime. And being true to your character is probably the best thing that I could think of. It's the best thing. You will be strong if you're true, because the truth is strength. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So you'll be able to stand up. You'll say, you know what? I think that this is wrong. This is what I believe in. It doesn't matter who you are or what you are. People that stand on truth, that believe in something, that have core values in alignment with who they are, these people are usually not easily swayed. They're not easily moved. They can free think for themselves. And this is what makes them powerful, and this is what makes them dangerous in the grand scheme of things, right? This is what makes them dangerous. And this is why we're coming back to that conversation about staying true to self, the universe rewarding you. So you will become strong the more you understand who you are and accept it. When you do that, you will not, you won't be confused about things. When you know where you're going, when you know who you are, there's just things that you will not get involved with. Simple. It's like when you have goals, there's some things that you're automatically eliminated from because that doesn't align with your goal, depending upon how bad you want it. The other thing that you have, this is why I say this is not for the weak. Being weak does not suit you. It's not beneficial for you. The next thing that you have to understand is you have to be prepared to lose people. I know that's a hard one, including family. You have to be prepared to lose people simply because we're not in alignment. And I know who I am and I know who you are. Now, I can love you. My mother has a statement. I can love you from afar. I still love you, but I can't be day to day hanging around with you because we're two different people, family or not. So you have to be prepared to lose people. And I don't know that many people are. They would rather hang in and suffer and have everybody else be happy than them be happy and have that person out of their life. Do you understand that stress destroys the body? It's the number one killer of people. So the people pleasing. When you know who you are, you're not people pleasing. When you accept it, I'm not people pleasing. Unless who you are is a people pleaser. But even I don't believe that. That'll get uncomfortable at some point. You will get uncomfortable trying to people please all the time. So remember, it takes strength for me to say no. I don't want to do that. When you know who you are, you're going to say, no, I don't want to do that. When you accept who you are, even if it's not in alignment with what other people want, because everybody wants control of us at some juncture. They want control of your mind. They want your time. They want something from you. And when they can't get it, then things start to go south. And a normal or natural human being, I don't even like to say normal, a natural human being is not going to always be available, is not going to always say yes. A person that's living in their truth. This is why I don't trust people that's always smiling. People that's always happy, I don't trust you, because nobody can be that happy all the time. Not every single day. At some point, there's a down, realistically, there's a down moment. So that in and of itself is letting me know that you're not staying true to self. You can try to be happy. You know how they say, fake it till you make it. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in inauthenticity. Being authentic will open many doors for you. Let me say that again. Being authentic will open many doors for you. Or shall I say, maybe it won't open 1,000 doors, but it will open the right doors. And that's only going to come with you accepting who you are, knowing who you are, and not being weak-minded. There are many people that are weak-minded. They believe that they're strong, but they're weak-minded. You have to be able to withstand. This is why they build certain houses in certain areas. They call it earthquake proof. This house may cost you more, but it's built to withstand an earthquake. Obviously, we know an earthquake can tear up anything. But the point being is the way that it's built to withstand calamities, natural disasters. And this is what knowing yourself and accepting yourself, this is what you're going to do. You're going to build yourself to be able to accept natural calamities. When you don't do this, when you're not strong in this, the first time adversity comes, the first time something happens, you fall to pieces. And you get accustomed to that because there is no foundation. The foundation is shaky. Somebody can tell you something and convince you to do something that you know is not in your character. And now you've gone and done something to change the course of the rest of your life, all because you weren't mentally strong when you needed to be mentally strong. The purpose of training, the reason why people train, the reason why people go through different processes that are difficult is so that they can be strong to resist when it's time to resist. That is the purpose. If I'm lifting weights all the time, let's say I'm doing bench press or I'm even boxing, I will be able to defend myself in hand-to-hand combat when it comes time for that. That is the purpose of me getting punched in my face, tooth knocked out, broken nose during practice. So that when the time comes, if it should come, maybe it would never come, but the one thing is for sure is that I will be prepared. And this is what I'm aiming to get you to understand for your life. The mental strength is extremely necessary. It's like the Charles Darwin, the survival of the fittest. That is a real thing. The species, it suggests that the species that is most prepared is going to be the one that's going to successfully produce or procreate. It's really simple. So if you're mentally prepared here, you're going to be able to produce and create more and be successful at it. So when I see some of the things, here's the deal. You can make excuses, and the excuses will be your own, but the excuse will not give you the result that you want. You can make the excuses to soothe the ego. I find this to be very common. As a former professional athlete, we saw all kinds of excuses. I made excuses sometimes, very rarely, but I did. And I only knew that I made the excuse so that I could feel better. Because the excuse didn't change the result. Maybe I missed an open shot. Maybe I turned the ball over. Oh, my hands are slippery. What does that have to do with the game? Everybody's hands can be slippery. You lost the ball. So what did I say? You better start doing your fingertip push-ups. You better start working out so that when that ball gets slippery, you can grip the ball. You can control it better. Because nobody cares about excuses. And they're worthless in your life. They only help you. You think your kids want to hear excuses? Or your family that may be dependent upon you? Or that dream that you have? You understand? People, they get funny really quickly. They don't understand that the excuses are your own. They don't even matter. They don't matter. So people from time to time, they may get upset at what I'm saying. They may get obstreperous, rambunctious. But it doesn't matter because it's the truth. And usually the truth goes through three stages. It's publicly ridiculed. It's held to be evident, and then it's accepted. 3 stages truth goes through. Truth is undefeated. So you can deny it and you can say, oh, you're too rough. No, it's not being too rough. Life is rough when you're not prepared. When you're not mentally prepared, life is rough. That's what's too rough. And life doesn't have mercy on the unequipped or the ill-prepared. So you will stay at a level and you will scratch your head and marvel and wonder why. And I don't want that for you. So being stronger mentally is key. And part of being stronger is not letting people talk you out of goals, aspirations, and dreams that you have. That's another big thing. If you let somebody talk you out of, I don't care if it's your mother, your father, I don't care who it is. If you you might have to delay it for certain reasons. But if it's something else in your heart, the Creator gave it to you for a reason. You have it for a reason. As long as you're physically able to do these things, you have it for a reason. But if you let someone talk you out of a dream, out of a goal, I don't even like to say dreams because that happens when you sleep. Out of your plans, out of your goals. If you let somebody talk you out of it, you don't deserve to have them. You don't deserve to have that plan. How could I have a plan and somebody talks me out of my plan for my life? So this is why I say it takes a certain amount of strength to go against, because the masses, M-A-S-S-E-S, the masses of people are very ignorant. And people project when they can't do something. So maybe you sharing things with people and they know that they can't do it, and all they can give you is what they've got, which is nothing. A life that lacks production. So they can only inform you or tell you according to where they've been or what they have. So nobody can talk me out of my goals, especially when you're in touch with reality. When you're in tune with the universe, you will know if it's realistic or it's not. And by real, the only thing that would make something realistic is, number one, are you willing to put the work in? Number two, do you have the talent or skill set to achieve it? And you can do that through here, through training this, which I spoke about in another video. Seeing things as you want them to be. Auto suggestion. Not how they are, but as you want them to be. This all goes in. Just like you lifting weights, you lift weights with your mind. You're well conditioned for combat. You know that there are going to be naysayers. How many inventions would we not have had if people gave up? If people said, oh, no, they said this. Now, mind you, they are people that don't have anything. The only thing they can lend to your dream is a negative voice. But you believe them, or your goals, or your aspirations. How could you think that listening to these people would even get you anywhere. You can only use those people for fuel, for motivation. That's what you use those people for. The mind is all. There's nothing greater than your mind. We can come up with excuses. I promise you, we can come up with it all. But you, that will not serve. You, that will not help. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares why you couldn't do something. Nobody's going to want it. They said I couldn't do it, so I stopped. I got frustrated. That's not an excuse. That's not a valid excuse. The Creator put something in you. So it's up to you to build that psychological fortress where nothing can penetrate. It's unuseful. Any negative commentary is used for fuel. Everything is fuel. It's all about how you reframe things. Okay, they said I couldn't do this. I'm not accepting that. I'm using that as fuel. No problem. This hasn't been done before. How many people said the airplanes and the cars, all that hasn't been done before? It's not like you're trying to do that. It's not like you're Nikola Tesla, Henry Ford, J.P. Morgan, John Pierce Morgan, all these people. The Wright brothers with the airplanes, we're talking about little stuff compared to what these people have done. And even if it was on that level, you shouldn't be listening to people. What if they would have listened to people? So, strong mind. No excuses. It doesn't matter. Don't talk to me about who the president is. It doesn't matter. You have to do what you have to do. Your color of your skin, you have to do what you have to do. It may not be your fault, but it is your responsibility because these are your goals. This is your life, that you're responsible for your life. You've been given ownership or keys to this particular body. I've been given keys. That which you cannot see, the spirit has been given keys to this body. So what must I do? I must take care of it so that it can take me to where I want in this dimension, in this plane. So this body needs to be functioning as well as it can for as long as it can. That is part of my job, to get the fulfillment or the expression of what the Creator has given me. My talents, my abilities to help individuals, to help my family, to give me that which we cannot see, the greatest expression, and also to give the Creator the expression, because I didn't make myself. Now, if I'm weak mentally because some naysayer said something, or my mama said this, or my dad said this, or my sibling said this, so now I fall apart, now I have gone against the Creator, whatever name you have for him, or it. Because I have put these people over the entity that created me. I put these people over the universe. I just did like this. You just wave your hand. Being weak-minded, you just wave your hand. Listen to people like that, you just wave your hand. Now, I'm not saying to shun wise counsel. That's not what I'm saying. Prepare yourself. Go after that which you desire without harming or hurting people, vigorously, with a plan, organized, and make this brain, this mind, a mental fortress, and strengthen it by living, strengthen it by reading, strengthen it by understanding, strengthen it by meditation. And I promise you, it'll be such a fortress that nobody will be able to get in. They won't be able to break that fortress unless they're adding something to it to help it, and that will strengthen it. Reinforcement. That's what this is about. You're not going to make it with a weak mind. You're not. You've got to stop listening to the masses. Most people are messed up in life. Most people don't have anything. How do I know? what is it, 97% of most populations on the planet, they work for the 3%. You've got to have the ability to think what you want regardless of the circumstances. That's within reason, of course. This is it. That's why this can't be loaded with intoxicants. In means inside, toxic means toxicity, ant means member. You can't be drunk or high. I got a video on that already. Coming. If I did, it depends on the upload of the sequence. I've already recorded. That will weaken your mind. Because now you're in control of other substances are controlling your behavior. Chemicals control behavior and weaken you. How do we know? Take sugar. People get addicted to sugar and they start eating and doing things they can't stop. People get addicted to drugs. They keep doing it and they can't stop. People get addicted to drinking alcohol and they can't stop. So is that a strong mind or is that a weak mind? Is it a strong mind if you need something else to help you get by each and every day of your life? I'm not talking about, the human side can say, yes, people need help. But I'm asking, is it a strong mind? Let's get to the core of it. Let's not do the emotional thing. I want you to take this emotion stuff out. This is going to help you to produce psychologically at the highest level. Doing things when you don't feel like it, doing things when you have to do it. That's when you're taking the emotion out. Doing things in spite of what's in front of you, the circumstance. This is how you become mentally strong. You get reps. You get reps. Practice makes permanent, not perfect. So the more you practice, the more permanent this will be. And it'll be a way of life. And nobody will be able to penetrate.